Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Last Week in Rugby on the Bonus Point Rugby podcast. Once again, I'm your host, TJ Olsen, and we have 1 week left of Super Rugby AU's regular season before we head into playoffs. But before we get stuck into talking about the games over the past weekend, I want to take a moment to thank our amazing sponsors. First off, Whalebird Kombucha. If you're looking for a great tasting beverage that is actually good for you, go try them out at your local Whole Foods, Air One, and other health food stores. Secondly, F45 Culver City. So F45 isn't just a gym, it's a real community, and their team are all there to help you achieve your fitness goals with sessions in just 45 minutes. They are still currently doing outdoor workouts to work around COVID-19 restrictions, but be sure to reach out to them to get a great workout during these trying times. F45, always a killer. So this past weekend of rugby, another good set of games, and we're looking forward to this last week of rugby that's about to happen. So week 10, diving into it. Super excited to have the bro, Tavita Halafia, aka Novel Capote, in here, talk about everything that's going on. What's up, homie? How we doing?
What's happening? How are you all? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for tuning in.
It's like early morning for you. Well, you got up, had your early training session this morning.
Went to the gym. I've had about 3 coffees before bloody 7 o'clock. That's not a good idea.
Well, that's like nothing for you, though. That's three coffees before 7 o'clock. That's your regular.
That's the thing, I just figure I want to get up and at 'em. 3 coffees helps me better than energy drinks. This is the thing. I only drink things if it hydrates me, gets me drunk, or gets me pepped.
Yeah, that's always a good gun. That's why I'm trying to avoid. Well, I used to be all about energy drinks when I just needed that extra boost. I didn't care about what it was when I was younger, what it did to me. But then now I'm just like, there's so many other things that I can put into my body that are way better than Monster Energy or V's or whatever. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
See, I told you, I've had my 2 coffees, man. I'm on. Ready to go. Let's do this.
the nostril coffees.
Can do it. I can do it. No, I'm just joking. Drugs are bad, kids.
Drugs are bad. Yeah, don't listen to Huller, guys.
Unless it's thrown from the ground, in which case it's okay.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'll pay that. Yeah. Why not?
Sorry?
That's the loophole that I was trying to go. It's hydroponic cocaine. Exactly. We can go that.
You're like, this is my in.
Yeah, he's giving me the green light. All right, well let's jump in. We'll talk about all the super.
Unintended.
There you go. But let's talk about the Super Rugby AU, because obviously I want to get stuck into that and also talk about this North versus South game that's coming up this weekend. I'm super excited about that. But we'll talk. Oh, bro, so excited. But we'll talk about Brumbies Force first. So before we get stuck into the game, we can't not talk about Amy Perrott as the referee. So she was the first. Man. I was so stoked when I saw that. I had no idea that was happening. But she was the first ever woman.
Can we just agree that women do everything better than men? Because that was really great refereeing.
See, the one thing that I can definitely agree that she was an exceptional referee. The one thing that pissed me off about it, though, was that because she was a woman, the guys were giving her so much more lip than they would another referee.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Really
I even heard
me.
A couple sirs there.
Yeah.
Sir, which is like,
I think that's like half they're trying not to, I guess, gender stereotype or do that. They're trying to just be like, if it's a referee, just call her sir. Because I've heard that over here. But other than that, like there were so many other times where she was trying to make sure that a scrum was being held properly and the body height. And then I think when Folau came on, he was sitting there going, come on, that was a great scrum. Or like, that's a game of rugby. And she just turned around and she was like, I'm not biting at that one. Like, you can just shut the hell up and just listen to what I'm saying. But she was the first ever woman AR in Super Rugby. And she also became the first woman head ref in Super Rugby history. And I guess although we have our opinions about Sanzar, I reckon that this was a good decision to give her an opportunity. What did you think about it? Did you rate it?
Dude, like I've seen a referee shoot shield, which is obviously the Premier Grade New South Wales competition, and she's proven that she can do it.
She's refereed like World Series Sevens, a lot of World Cup games for the Women's World Cup. A few other different types, but yeah, she was great. I really liked it.
Yeah, dude, and I think it was I think she did really well, dude. Like honestly, I've got no complaints. She held the lads together really well. The boys, all in all, respected her, and I don't see why this didn't happen earlier.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, it took us long enough.
right?
Mm.
She did a great job, and
Mm.
yeah, congratulations. That's a game changer right
Yeah.
there.
We'll have a chat about the game. So the Force turned down two easy shots on the goal early for tries, and obviously when you got nothing to lose, you're at the bottom of the table. You just go for it. So they didn't go for points early on, but it paid off for them. They were able to get the first try of the night, and they kept it relatively tight for the first half, but it got away from them in the second half. But I thought the Force held their own majority of the game, at least for the first half. What did you think about them?
Oh, look, I think there's a fine line between, um, nothing to lose and everything to gain. Um, and by that, what I mean is they've shown us that they can put together phases of really good rugby, but they can't put together a full 80.
Mm-hmm.
In this situation where they turned down this first couple of shots, so I was like, okay, there's ballsy of you guys.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the day, I think a win, no matter how they got it, would have been better than you know
just trying to
trying to
have a
prove a
crack.
point. Because I think that they played. I think collectively, as a team, they put together better phases than all the other AU super teams, but they just
Mm.
can't do it for
Yeah.
80 minutes.
Because that's
Um,
kind of been their brand of rugby all season.
correct.
It's like they turn down points, they just go for the big wins, and they risk
Yeah.
it all, which hasn't
And
really
that's
panned out for
all
them.
well and good. I just think that when you're playing, that type of rugby, you need to have the assets to be able to pull that off. And I just don't think they're two or three players short to make that machine, a winning machine. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that for how they were playing, I thought that they definitely could have done a lot more in regards to just take the points, put the pressure on. Um, and maybe the outcome would have been a little different. Having said that, though, you're playing a team, that are full of um, test match experience and big time games. So,
Well, that
grinding
was going to
out.
be my next point is that the Force, although they've been promising, the bench depth, like you just said, has been something that's been really lacking for them. And it was abundantly clear when in the second half you had four former Wallabies or current Wallabies come off the bench. Like you
Yeah,
had Nick White, Falau, you had a few other guys that just came off, and it was just
yeah.
a big game changer. Will that, I guess, perception or that lack of depth, will that be the argument point to say, hey, the Force, we made the right decision
No,
by the
not at all.
ARU
I
to,
mean,
to
they're forced to have that. Do you know what I mean? If there was still a Super Rugby franchise, they'd still have the likes
mm,
of, well, not including, but you'd have the standards of your Digby Ioanes, your James O'Connors. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
you'd have those players still over there playing. I
mm,
think they were forced into a situation um, that they shouldn't have been in, and player welfare is you want to play for the Wallabies, you want to put yourself in the best chance, and that's not going to be playing in a competition that isn't part of Super Rugby. So,
yeah,
you lose those players. You introduce Western Force back into Super Rugby permanently. I 100% guarantee you they have the infrastructure, the money, and the commitment to junior rugby to have that to gain that support that Western
mm.
Force will go a long way into a Super Rugby competition.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that because I've been seeing a lot of people posting that around social media and saying that, and we've had conversations about a lot of different topics about keyboard warriors on social
Yeah,
media, just
man.
sitting there just going, that's just idiotic to say because you can see the potential, and once they pump the funds in that they, like you said, they obviously have, and they've got the support from the Australian community, especially in their area, it's
Yeah.
something where you can definitely see that if they do come back to Super Rugby, that's something I want to see. So
Yeah, man,
yeah.
definitely, totally, and like I'm behind it too, man. Like
Mm.
they need to be back in Super Rugby. I don't care what anyone says. What they've done is
Mm.
amazing,
Yeah.
thus far. And on a business front, like they're the most financially stable Super Rugby team right now.
Mm.
Like it's a no
That
brainer.
that says something.
Like in a
Mm.
era where Rugby Australia are struggling to make money,
Mm.
and the Brumbies, like on a business level, the Brumbies are the ones that should be going. From their sponsorships that are lacking to the lack of people they're getting in stands. Do you know what I mean? Like they're a liability to Rugby Australia on a business front. Do you know what I mean? What Western Force do is they've built from the ground up, and Western Australian rugby is grounded in grassroots,
Mm.
which is why they get so many players. Like they weren't even playing Super Rugby, and they were getting 20,000 people to a stadium every week,
Yeah, that's
playing
true.
teams that had no names. Do you know what I mean? Like
Mm.
we need to look into this, and Rugby Australia. I'm sure they've looked into it a lot further than you and I have, but I fail to see how they aren't an asset, regardless of not winning a game thus far in the Super Rugby competition. They also had no time to plan it, and they've
Yeah.
come in with a style of rugby that they've actually been the best at when they play it, whether that's 5 minutes or 20 minutes. You give them, one more year back in Super Rugby where they can, swing some money around, get some cogs in that machine that could really swing the momentum. A couple of key forwards, maybe a couple playmakers, and some X factor players for the backs.
Mm.
Get some depth coming off the bench.
Because you saw them elevate once they implemented Richard Kahui into that squad. It became a big X factor for them. And although he's not the Richard Kahui that we know from before, he still made a massive impact to the team.
Man. Yeah, definitely, bro. So I really hope that Rugby Australia have a look at what Western Force have done and keep them in a Super Rugby competition, because I think that they are our most valuable asset to Rugby Australia right now.
Let's get a freaking petition going. That sounds like a good play,
Let's
eh?
just threaten Rugby Australia. Like, we're just gonna bash you guys. Like they're based out of Ballymore anyway. Let's just
We know enough people who live close to it.
That's all I'm saying.
Put the finger on the pulse. There we go.
It's 2020, bro. Like, if we're going to start taking out people, let's take out people that are being wankers, okay? They're just destroying things. Not ones that are doing really good for the world. That's all I'm saying.
All right, well, we'll talk about the Brumbies, but it took them a few goes at it. But after, I think it was 3 TMO decisions, they finally got a try in the first half, and it was a really close game in that first half. And I thought the Brumbies looked pretty sloppy for the first 20 minutes. Like, Ala Alatoa, so many different fumbles and other things that he did that were just not Brumbies style, but presented a lot of solid attacking opportunities for the rest of the game. What I really have been liking is Pete Samu's insane speed and power along the touchline. He doesn't care that he's this far away from the touchline. He'll just go, yep, I'll just
Willie
juke
Vadiri and Jonah Lomu mindset.
Yeah.
I'm still in. I'm still in.
So the question I've got, the number 8 jersey for the Wallabies, does it go to Samu, Naisarani, or Wilson this year?
Okay, off form, you have to go Samu.
Yeah, that's what I say too.
Naisarani, cool, but he's missed out on a few games. He only just came back.
Mm-hmm.
But Pete Samu, man, that's a no-brainer for me.
I think if you obviously want to get Wilson in that mix and coming off the bench, because you want to build for that next 3-5 years, because he's definitely going to be, as long as he stays in Australia.
You can also chuck him in at 6 as well, so he's a good
option.
Yeah.
Very versatile.
Yeah, exactly. You can chuck him in at 6 or 8, maybe not 7.
Who was the standout player for you from that Brumbies side?
Dude, honestly, that 10, man. Since we spoke about him, last week's episode, bro.
Yeah. Have you noticed though he hasn't had a kick that is like right in front? He always has to make those kicks that are all either is it Tom Wright and Andy Muirhead? They score tries right in the corner, and he has to make these insane kicks. Jono Thurston loop it around, gets it through. I don't think he's had an easy kick the whole time he's been playing. It's been ridiculous.
And he's on control. He's in control the whole time. Also, Andy Muirhead, bro.
He's been playing really well.
Dude, I'm throwing him in the Wallabies spectrum.
I want him to be. There's no reason why he hasn't proven that he deserves to at least be called into the squad. And that's not me even being biased, because he's one of my mates. Like, that's just on form. He's been great. I think him and Wright definitely have an argument to jump into that Wallaby squad. Dungunu, who else?
Dude, you know what? I'd choose Muirhead over Dungunu at the moment.
You reckon?
Yeah, dude. Bro, Andy Muirhead, he's silky, man.
Mm.
Like, he's like, a million thread count silk sheet. You know what I mean? He just rolls over your legs and you're like, ooh,
Oh,
silky
man.
smooth.
I was speaking to him this morning. I'll let him know that you think that.
Oh,
Oh,
tell him,
man.
man,
Yeah.
I'm on him, bro. I'm on that bandwagon.
I reckon, yeah. If he doesn't at least get a call into the Wallaby squad, Dave Rennie's got to have something up his sleeve that just is news to everyone. But yeah, we'll move on. We'll talk about the Waratahs Rebels. So this match, the Rebels and Tars ended up being an interesting game to watch and a nail biter due to the stakes of the game. So for anybody that didn't know, this match was a must win for the Waratahs. They needed to win it and
But
get a bonus point to secure that third spot
and
in the Super Rugby.
they also needed to make sure that the Rebels didn't come within 7.
Yeah, yeah. So unfortunately for them, the Rebels put up a good fight and the great contest. And although the Rebels lost, they ended up getting their own bonus point, which was a final score of 38-22. The Waratahs could have won that game. They could have closed it out, and they could have avoided this. But yeah, but I talk a bunch of smack about Michael Hooper. I don't know if it's because he's been
Dude,
Aussie
look,
captain
okay,
for
that's
many
the best
years.
game he's played all year. That
That's
doesn't
what
mean you
That's
want him to
what
be
I'm
the
saying.
captain or even in the team of the Wallabies.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's because he's been the Aussie captain for many years, the fact that he's been so disrupted when he plays the All Blacks, or I just don't like his face. But that's the dude that he had a great game over the weekend. Aside from a few penalties, great runs. He had a couple of charge downs, I think. What do you think?
Dude, yeah, he played good. Honestly, that's the best game he's played all year. But I don't like him. So I mean, if you're going to have a good game, it's the game where you have to win.
Yeah.
But even still, like, it wasn't enough. And the Rebels, the Rebels are coming into third place. It would be an absolute miracle for the Force to beat the Rebels with a full squad.
Mm.
Like, they would have to choke. Like, dude, it would have to be just the Force would literally have to be 100% on for 80 minutes.
Yeah.
And the Rebels would have to be 100% off for 80 minutes.
Yeah, so I agree with that. I don't reckon the Force are going to be able to do that, even though
I don't think so either. And look, Matt Tamor is playing some champagne rugby, my G.
Bro, did you see that try he scored? Did you see that
watched
line?
that game live.
Oh man, it was ridiculous.
How
He's
good.
just
And then
he's just chilling in the
kicks that
pocket.
goal at the end, that penalty goal, and he's just iced it. I was just like, you cold ass man, brother.
He's been getting a nickname like every week. I think 2 weeks ago he got the Hitman. This week he got Iceman. He's just been getting like just a whole list of nicknames. But yeah, it left the competition undecided. And I agree with you. I don't think the Force are just going to be able to pull one out, even though it's week 10. They got nothing left to lose. They're not going to be a team that's just going to be able to.
They're back to a full squad.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, the Waratahs though, back to the Waratahs, like missed opportunities, man. Like, and this is what happens, right? And this is the Waratahs system is tried and it's not working.
Mm-hmm.
For all the people are throwing Rob Simmons in for the lock position, for the Wallabies, but like, let's be honest.
Ooh.
I mean. He doesn't. I personally don't think he brings anything new. He's predictable. He's lost that X factor that he had, 5-10 years ago. Do you know what I mean? He's not.
Yeah.
He's not.
He doesn't bring enough. He doesn't bring that impact. Yeah. No. He doesn't bring that impact. So that's something I wanted to talk about. So the lack of experience depth, we spoke about it for the All Blacks. It has to be said about the Wallabies as well. But what we got to talk about, I was speaking to my mate James this week, and there are so many quality locks that aren't here that are in contention for the Wallabies. So you've got guys like Coleman, Skelton, Rodder, the two Arnolds, and I don't even know if Simmons is going to be considered because he's going to be going away to go play in Japan. But no. He's going to go play in my apologies. He's going to go play for the London Irish. Hooper's going to Japan for a sabbatical. All these guys aren't in Wallabies contention that I know of. So it's highly likely that we saw the two Rebels, the Rebels and the Tars, the two starting locks are going to be Hannigan and Phillip. Do you reckon? Do you reckon that?
Look, Sakai Lotto he's 100% in. There's no way he can't be a lock.
You don't reckon they'll keep him at flank?
No way. You can't.
Mm.
They've got too many great options.
Mm.
Too many great options.
Yeah.
And it's Dave Rennie too. That guy likes to just throw fire into the ring. And I think, look, and it's just sort of like the Wallabies are in a position now where they're trying to change the Ghetto rule so they can get those players back. And, we've spoken about this before and completely against it. Or for it, pending if they let other players play for their Tier 2 nations.
Yeah.
And I think that if you're going to choose a team right now, like now's the time to just be like, stuff it. Let's just let's just get a bunch of firecrackers, put them in a team and see what happens. Because, what we like, it's not that I don't like Rob Simmons. I thought he had a stellar career when he was at the Reds, and then it just went downhill.
As soon as he went to the Tars, that's what I thought too. I was kind of like, he's kind of gone.
I don't know what happened, and I think like that Waratahs system, they just look like a bunch of old horses. Like experience got them in the lead, and then they were just like, oh, we're done.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like they finished the race, but if it weren't for another 5 minutes, Rebels would have won that.
Well, because when was it that the Waratahs won the Super Rugby Championship? Was it 2014? 14, yeah, 14. So it's been a while since they've kind of been in contention for that. Yeah, but I agree.
I could be wrong. I'd have to look that up.
Yeah, but someone I did like was obviously no Carmichael Hunt for the Tars, but instead basically they had his mini-me in the form of Tepai Moroa. He played Aussie Schoolboys in 2012, 2013. He had a 6-year stint in rugby league, and now he's with the Tars until I think at least 2021. But I think he made a great impact to the game. It was his first game in Super Rugby. He sucked in a lot of defenders on broken play, was a big factor defensively. Did you like him, or what do you think?
Yeah, man. That mini-me is that's the correct description.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was like a mini-me.
Yeah. It's because he's basically like ex-league.
His thighs are the same size, that's for sure.
And they've both had like a really similar kind of I guess career. They've both played Aussie Schoolboys. They both went into league to obviously take the money, and then they went back into go play union. Yeah. Well, I don't know about Carmichael Hunt, but I think he had other incentives that he could have fun with. Yeah.
Don't mate, you leave my 2003 schoolboy counterpart alone, please.
Man. Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely. Oh yeah, I'll get some money your way. No, it'll be all good. But yeah, I reckon he played a great game. I reckon he's definitely got a good go forward for the Waratahs. I reckon he's got a lot of potential as long as he stays in the mix. But we'll see. But we'll talk about the Rebels. They're the same as the Tars. I reckon they could have won that game pretty easily because
if anyone choked, it was the Rebels that game.
Well, they were great on the offensive side, but on the defensive side, they were just so sloppy and lazy. They had multiple misreads in open play. The ruck D was woeful. Like, I think there was one time that one of the Tars got a try, and then basically you had one guard on one side, the goalposts were here, and on the other side you had one bloke who was just standing there all the way from the other side, no defender here. I was sitting there going, you're professional rugby players. It's not that freaking hard. But, yeah.
I think, like, the one thing I will say about the Rebels, like, when they want to be shit, they're just shit, bro. Seriously. It's just, like, but just, like, there was numerous times where I heard the refs, like, hands off the ball.
Yeah.
And then he gets up and he's like, I yelled hands off the ball. And he's like, I was on my feet. And he's like, the ref's like, I said hands off the ball. Like, dude, what?
I saw that happen as well. I saw that happen as well. There was one guy who was laying over the ruck and he had his hands on the ground, and then he was standing there for like 5 seconds and then went to go for the ruck had already been formed, and he went to go for the ball and he was like, what was wrong with that? And I was like, what are you freaking talking about?
What do you mean, mate? Dude, man, Jesus came back and then you started to pilfer at the ball. What are you doing?
Oh, man.
Yeah. So I think, like, see things like that, they're detrimental. And across the board, I think like outside of when the Reds got pumped by the Waratahs in that game, where they just switched off for the first half, I think, overall we're looking at like the Brumbies, the Rebels, and the Waratahs seem to just switch off in moments.
Yeah.
Comparatively to the Reds that just sort of, it just takes them a little bit to get into the game, which is two different things. Do you know what I mean? Getting into the game doesn't mean you're not on. It just means like, you're figuring the game out.
Yeah.
But the Rebels, Brumbies, and Waratahs, they just seem to they're on and then they're off. It's like the light switch goes on, light switch goes off.
Yeah.
And when the light switch goes off, they just get.
I didn't think would happen for the Brumbies because they've been looking pretty consistent, but then there have been times where they'll be scoring 30 points and then it'll just go, yep, see you later, I'm done. Like,
that first half against the Force, I was like, what am I watching here?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Dude, I honestly was just like, am I going to have to do some burpees? I was like, I am not a fan of this.
Oh man, yeah. Well, we were pretty lucky with that one. I don't think nobody lost this week, right? Yeah, we're good.
We're
okay,
good.
Thank God, because I've already done enough burpees this week. It's all good. It's only Monday.
I tried to do a push-up last night after I finished gym, and I was like, oh, bro, no way I could do burpees this week. I can't even do one push-up at the moment.
All right. Well, speaking of burpees, just like every week, we've got to do our weekly predictions. And this week probably is the best week of rugby of 2020 thus far because we've got round 10 of Super Rugby AU. We've got Rebels in Force and Reds in Brumbies. And also, we have our North versus South game that we've been waiting for so long. So I'm super excited for that one. We'll talk about the AU stuff first. So Rebels in Force, we already spoke about it, of course. Like, shout out Fletty. I'm sorry, bro, but Rebels. It's going to happen. Reds and Brumbies. So I know who you're backing for this one. You're going Reds.
By my Reds, baby.
And I'm going Brumbies. So whoever loses this one is doing burpees.
I'm telling you, bro, the Reds are going to put a clinic on, man, because they're gonna get into Brumbies and be like, "This, see you in the final, my G."
They just came off a bye, right? Yeah. Okay, interesting. We'll see. But Brumbies, they've definitely clinched top spot, right?
Yeah, they have. So regardless of what happens, 1 and 2 is already sorted. That will not change.
Yeah. It's just number 3 that we got to sort out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And the final one. This will be interesting. I want to see what you think. North versus South. I'm back in North. I have to.
Bro, if they lose. Man, South has done a hell of a job. Hell of a job.
Because like you got to look at it from a perspective. The South don't have scrubs. Like they've got great players. It's not like they couldn't put on a good battle. But just I was looking at the photos of the North training sessions where they were training in their provincial jerseys.
Dude, it looks like the All Blacks. That's what the North team looks like. I was like, goddamn. I was like, okay, like let's just choose the All Blacks now. North side,
and then Richie Mwanga and maybe Will Jordan, and then a couple other scrubs to just throw in there. But yeah, seriously, when I was looking at, you had Bodie at 10, Mackenzie at 15, Aaron Smith. All the photos, I didn't see him pass one ball. He just had his hand behind his back, and he was just standing there just watching everything. And I was like, classic halfback. There we go. Yep, just chipping from the back.
Just barking orders.
Yeah. So, do we want to do points then for the North? Point differential, or do we want to just because we're both backing North.
I reckon North win, and I reckon North win by. I'm going to go 34 point. I'm going to do exact score.
I thought you were saying 34 points like they were going to beat them by that. And I was God damn.
It's going to be 34-20, the end score.
So what's that, 14?
14-point differential.
All right. I'll go. Everyone's going to be on the kicking game. I'll go 19. I'll go 19 just to make it interesting because I reckon North are gonna put on a clinic against the South, but who knows? We'll see. It'll be an interesting one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Look, it's gonna
You just can't predict this because there are so many different variables, and like you've got so many different people that haven't played together, or they haven't played together in a long time, and it's coaching staff's different. There's no real culture set. It's going to be interesting.
what it is? It's like the All Blacks possibles versus probables.
It basically is, yeah.
Those rep games where it's like, and I've been in like those probables teams, and we've been sassed. So,
yeah, I think every
I've
team
also been in the
has.
possibles team and been sassed. So,
Yeah. Well, that was like, what was that? We spoke about it before, that game that the Wallabies did. It was the Wallabies versus like the World, not World 15. It was like some other team that they put together that was just not Wallabies guys, but Wallabies possibles. And they had like Palmer Fowl in there on the wing who was playing for the Rebels, and then like a bunch of other people. They put together a good battle, but then when it got to, I think, 30 minutes in, it was just, see you later. This game's done. They got sassed. But it's called the bonus point for a reason. This bonus point segment, it's all about the new Eight Nations tournament. And I know what everyone's thinking. We've spoken about it before, but some new news has come out, and we've got an interesting development. Japan, they're not going to be a part of this tournament anymore because of COVID-19 logistical issues. And the team that could replace them is the 2019 World Cup winners, South Africa. So the more I hear it, the more I like it, because if South Africa were to go into the Eight Nations tournament,
for Fiji's sake.
well, they're not playing. They're not going to be. Oh wait, no, they're not going to be in. No, they're not going to be in Japan. Japan are in a different. We're in a different one. Fiji are in the other one with Wales, England, and Scotland. That's their pool. So,
that's right. Yeah.
And South Africa have got Italy, France, and
that's unlucky. Unlucky.
Ireland or something. Yeah. So Fiji have got their backs up against the wall no matter what. I'm sorry to say it, but yeah. Can you imagine if South Africa come into this competition and
it'd be hilarious because they're gonna win.
it'd be awesome. Like
It'd be awesome. Like a Southern Hemisphere team goes to like the premier Northern Hemisphere comp and just like first year goes, we're better than all of you.
Yeah. Well, it would be great if it was a finals, World Cup final rematch, and then you'd see England face off against South Africa, and they basically just go, just to reiterate, you guys suck, and just win the game. But yeah. But the one thing that has been blocking this is SANZAAR, who are in charge of the Rugby Championship, have denied the claims that South Africa are joining the Eight Nations, and it's all speculation.
Dude, SANZAAR remind me of like O.J. Simpson's lawyers. They're just like, shit. Okay, no.
Throw something at the wall, make it stick. Yeah.
You say no? That did not happen.
Side subject. Did you watch that that series with Cuba Gooding Jr. about the OJ? I did. Bro, if you want to see how lawyers can make something out of nothing and just take the public and use it against
Shout out Rob Kardashian.
Oh, my God. David
Senior. Rob Kardashian Senior.
Did a pretty good job. But, yeah, so where do you think they'll end up? Do you reckon they'll go Eight Nations, or do you reckon they'll come back to the Rugby Championship? Because
they can't come back here. It makes no sense at all to come to play here. They're literally going to have to travel 16 hours to get here. Well,
see, that's the thing though. It's not that big of a difference when you think of it, because if they travel to the UK, it's 14 hours.
It's the same time.
They're
at the same world time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and here's the other thing too is they won't have to take into consideration time differential. That's the big one. So all they're doing is just going, and all they're doing is, as opposed to having to go across time zones.
You don't do whistle. You don't do whistle sound effects for going left and right. You only do it for up and down.
Only up and down. Otherwise, I get confused, bro. I get confused.
Yeah, but I agree. I think especially logistically, it's not going to work. And especially with the government's cracking down on COVID here, or not here. I'm freaking in America, in New Zealand and Australia. It's you literally have to make a decision now. You have to make sure that they have a place to create a bubble, and they've only been given the green light this week to go back to training for South Africa. So unless they turn around and they make all this crap happen in
Make
like a
South
span of 3
African
days,
rugby great again.
yeah. Are you? Oh, I'm so excited for that documentary to come out, though. Did you see that trailer for the?
No, what trailer?
You haven't seen it? Oh, so
No.
they've got a 5-part series about South Africa winning the World Cup.
Oh no, I did see that actually. Yeah.
I'm so
That
excited.
looks great.
Like,
Also, brings
always-
back haunting memories of you and me sitting in the lounge room in complete disbelief of the All Blacks.
well,
harder than
I've said
porn
it. If anyone was going to win the World Cup, I want it to be South Africa because other than any other team,
Take that jersey off right now, you sellout.
I said anyone other than us.
Sorry, I take that back. My humble apologies.
Deaf bastard, get out of here. But it's because like when you see us play South Africa, after we're done, there'll be 50 punches thrown in a game, and then afterwards, they're all mates. But if there's one punch thrown in a Wallabies game versus All Blacks, everyone's like, "I'll see you in a parking lot. Let's go smash it." All right, cool.
Mostly Michael Hooper doing that too.
Oh, 100%, definitely. But
Really
yeah,
don't like Michael Hooper. Okay, hold on. I'm digressing here. Do you honestly think Michael Hooper deserves a Wallaby caller?
I think, especially after how he's played this season, I don't think he has. I don't think he's earned it.
He's not the premier breakaway, let alone leader
but
for a national team.
But that's being said that he definitely will get that call up because of his seniority, because he's played 140 odd matches for. It's just a PR nightmare. Can you imagine him not being named in this team? Do you imagine
the Wallabies
how many?
Probably win.
Yeah, but do you imagine how many Wallabies fans will sit there and go, "Why isn't Michael Hooper in the side?" It's
White
just
privilege.
Yeah. Can of worms. I'm leaving the lid on. I'm not opening that because then it'll just.
My
be
bad. No, dude. I honestly like his game, his sportsmanship. Number one, terrible this year. It's not great anyway, but it's been terrible. Number two, he has not been at all good. Like we gave him that last week's game, and that's it, man. He's consistently letting way too many penalties in. Even when he plays, it's like he reminds me of Darius Boyd right now. Like he's bored to be there, and he's just trying to be there for the sake of getting paid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
I honestly think that there's literally 4 or 5 other breakaways that deserve that spot more than him. And on a leadership front, like, I'm sorry, but like Harry Wilson, he's killing it.
He's killing it. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, that's your leader. Invest in that guy. That guy is going to lead the Wallabies deep into the next World Cup and to a new generation of Australian rugby.
Who's the captain for the Reds? Not Wilson.
Liam Wright.
Liam Wright, yeah. There you go. Like you on both sides, you can chuck both of those there, and then you're good. Yeah. And then you've got Pete Sama with the back. See you later.
Yeah, man. I'm over people trying to justify Hooper being there, and it happens week in, week out. The amount of times you hear the Australian commentators, and I'm like, anyone that's trying to ride for someone like that, they know that, like, this guy's not going to make it. Do you know what I mean? There's that much. And it infuriates me. And I think it's completely unfair. The reason why Rugby Australia and the Wallabies are in this predicament is because they didn't invest in new leadership groups, a younger demographic to come through and be with these guys. And that's why they leave. That's why Skelton left. That's why the Arnolds left. That's why Coleman left. Do you know what I mean? Because there's nothing for them to grow into because they're just consistently just getting eat-asses to be in this group. You know what I mean? And where does that get you? Nowhere. Nowhere.
Bledisloe Cup hasn't been back in a long time, but
Long time.
But I do hope that South Africa go to this 8 Nations and pump everyone. I do hope that Michael Hooper doesn't get named in the Wallabies team. I definitely reckon it's inevitable he'll get named in the squad, but it's Yeah. I think especially with COVID as well, you are right. They're going to try and just throw a lot of things around and just see what does fit, because if it doesn't work, you can just blame it on the sporadic nature of COVID happening and going, oh, we were just
Yeah,
trying
man.
things in this unprecedented times. It's, yeah, but
That's
we'll
honestly
see.
what I do. I 100% would just be like, man, let's just see how these kids go. Like,
Mm,
seriously, you're not
yeah,
going. They're not going to get any better by like pussyfooting around and trying to, not hurt people's feelings. I'm like, nah, mate, you didn't make the cut.
yeah,
Peace. Thanks for your
mm,
service. See you later. Go to Japan. Go to France. We're gonna spend money. We're gonna bring Skelton back. We're gonna bring Coleman back. We're trying to, you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna make sure that we've got a team for the next 6 years that are gonna help these kids come through. Um, and like, you think about it, you got guys like Baisami from the Reds coming through.
mm,
Do you know what I mean? Like that. Don't you dare try and tell me that guy is not going to be a influential center in the
yeah,
next 10 years. The kid's what, 21, 22? The guy's
something
got,
like that. Yeah,
you know what I mean? You got Tate McDermott, young halfback, could create a big legacy in, like, could be the
Lolosio as well
halfback
at
in the
that fly
world.
half position. He can learn under
Exactly.
Matt Tamua and
Do you
James
know what I
O'Connor.
mean? And I
Yeah,
just think that someone, and like, let's look at that. You've got James O'Connor and Matt Tomua who can help these fly halves inside backs. You've got your Carmichael Hunts that can help and the Kurandranis that can help these midfielders. Do you know what I mean? But when it comes to someone like Michael Hooper, I just don't think that he's that guy that can really, you know, be the George Smith to the next uppercomers.
yeah,
I just don't. I think he lacks that leadership, lacks that genuine quality. And I've for so long, especially the last 3-4 years, thought that he's playing for a paycheck and doesn't actually give a crap about the jersey. And that's one thing as a player and former player that annoys the crap out of me. If you don't want to play, you look at the difference between dudes that are playing in tier 2 nations and crying for their nation, and they feel every win and every loss. And he
yeah.
just, and it's not because he's ice cold, because he used to be that way and he's not anymore. And
Mm.
it's like, well, dude, what's the point then? Don't just be here to be here because, you were, had your hand down Chica's pants and another one
Well, that's what
bloody.
I was going to say. Like he got given how many years under Checker's leadership, and Checker kind of just went, okay, picked him. First year didn't work out. Second year, oh crap, it didn't work out again. And then he's like, all right, all in. I've already picked him. I'm not going to change it now. Let's just
Yeah,
keep him at the helm. Didn't work. It was just a waste of time.
that's what I mean. In his total tenure as Wallabies leader,
Mm,
uh, hasn't been good.
yeah,
And as a captain, but like even as a player, like what what's happened? Do you know what I mean? Like it, you can't you can't keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result. He can't bring leadership. He can't bring wins. He can't inspire um, that Wallabies team to sort of shift gears or whatever. Now I get this; it's more than just one person. But I'm sorry, man. I've seen numerous captains, whether it was Johnny Wilkinson in the 2003 World Cup final, that just like you saw him just lift that level, that lifts the other team's level. Whether it's
mm,
Richie McCaw, just like down in the dumps against Ireland, they're down by 6 points, and that guy just like, I got to lift this team. Gives them the talk. They come back and score in 82 minutes. Do you know what I mean? There's numerous captains in dire situations that have lifted and led from the front and shown leadership qualities where it's not about them, it's about the jersey, and it's about making sure that they're the ones that are doing the most for the team to help the team. Do you know what I mean? And I just feel that he's too selfish and lacks those qualities that you want in a captain of an international team,
yeah,
regardless of the sport. And that's just me personally, and definitely it comes from like an emotional attachment to that jersey, and also being you know mentoring young kids and seeing who they should look up to. It's like he's not one of those guys. Do you know what I mean? There's excuses on excuses. Um, Leaders are supposed to act with grace, humility, and he does not have those qualities at all. Do you know what I mean? Every time he's interviewed, it's we let it slip away. Like that's the first thing he says. You go back to all those every game that they've lost, he always says we almost did it. It's like, well, no, mate, but you didn't. So be humble and just acknowledge that you were beaten and you didn't come to play for a full 80 minutes. And this is why. And you go and look at other people, look at fighters who have lost, look at, other rugby and football teams that have lost, you can hear the difference. It's like, yeah, honestly, we didn't turn up. The other team were here for the whole game, the whole fight, whatever it is. And that's what happened on the day. And we'll have to go back to the books. But he always has excuses, especially with Michael Checker. There was always, we could have done this better. It's like, well, mate, yeah, you could have. And
Didn't
so, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So I don't know, man. I just feel as though like the tenure's up, the time's up. We've kicked out Raylene Castle. We've got a new coach in. There's a new board.
Just wipe the slate clean.
Yeah,
and then
so
go from
out
fresh.
with the old, in with the new. Now's the time to do it. You've got the backdrop of COVID-19. If you need to run excuses as to why you've chosen who you've chosen or didn't choose who you didn't choose.
Yeah.
And you know what? If they choose a young team and they get thrashed 50-0, that's better than all the Wallaby games I've seen in the last 5 years.
All right. Well, let's talk quickly just before we go. Is in regards to Test match rugby. So we've got in the All Blacks camp, we've got the All Blacks team, and then they're trialing out this new second tier. It's called the All Blacks 15. So in that, so we're obviously going to have a Bledisloe Cup because we have to. But other than that, I don't think there's going to be any other Test matches because I know a lot of Pacific Island teams have said no to playing the All Blacks. So they might play the All Blacks 15 team, but you've only got just the All Blacks.
Well,
so
I read a rumor that they're looking at Suncorp Stadium and Dunedin. So, because they're the two places where they can come in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I've heard is they'll come to Brisbane, camp down for the 2 weeks or whatever. And then they'll go sort of like, they'll be here for 5 weeks in total. So you're here for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Game, rest next week, game, and then they fly back to New Zealand, Dunedin, and do the same thing.
Man, because there's not going to be that much Test match rugby this year, I hope they would do a best out of 5 for the Bledisloe Cup. That would be awesome because that would make it pretty interesting.
So dope.
Yeah,
maybe I'll come back if they're doing a Bledisloe in Brisbane. Maybe I'll just stick out. Just. Why'd you stay in Australia? Honestly, I just wanted to watch a Bledisloe Cup. It's been a terrible year for me.
I don't know if they'll have crowds though. Yeah, I don't reckon they'll have.
In Queensland, you're allowed.
Aren't they only allowed like 1,500 max though? Because
no. So it's just there has to be like a 1.5 meter distance between each cluster of people. So when you purchase tickets, it'll say like how many. And you're only allowed a maximum of 4, pretty much. So
I was about to say, what classifies a cluster? Because it'd be like, can I buy like 10,000 tickets, please?
Right. But even still, like, let's say 10,000 people. I mean, I'll be one of those 10,000, fam, for real. Especially because they're mad cheap, bro. I was even looking at going to the Reds game on Saturday, but because the kickoff for the North-South game's 5:10 here, and then the Reds game is 7. I was like, I don't want to have to like quickly jumping on the, but we'll see what happens. $20, bro.
Yeah, I'm definitely not watching. I've been watching a lot of rugby games alone, but I'm definitely probably going to go up north and go watch it with a few buddies and then actually be around.
Hey, if
north
you don't,
versus
bro,
south.
we'll chuck it. We'll just get on Zoom and we'll watch it together.
Oh yeah, there we go. Get a nice couple of drinks under our belt, and then we'll be good to go.
A few scotches on the rocks. No,
All right, well, big weekend to look forward to. Super Rugby AU and North versus South. Thank you very much for joining us again, Hulla. Love your takes and insights.
Thanks, man.
AU better be listening to all your good advice that you give out.
You know what would be hilarious is just like if I get a cease and desist, like not allowed to mention Rugby Australia. It's like, ugh.
It's like, yeah, is that how they're gonna make money? Is they're just gonna sue everyone under the belt that talks smack about them during COVID?
I just put me on. I need, like, literally, if my whole life career fails because of COVID, I'm 100% going into COVID. Going into commentary. I'm gonna shake the world.
All right, guys, we'll look forward to this game. If you don't have a way to watch it, be sure to look out for ESPN Plus in the US. Obviously, Aussies and New Zealanders, you know how to watch this game. But ESPN Plus will be streaming all the rugby games, so check them out.
That's awesome.
But yeah, thank you for tuning in, and thank you for
Guys.
joining
Thanks
us
for having me, TJ.
on the Bonus Point Rugby Podcast.
Up the north.